Thank you for a beautiful time that we have. It has been a while since we had this conversation, but just appreciate you for your presence and for allowing us to have this conversation. The reason why we do this is because we want this knowledge to be distributed across the continent to our people to know and to actually do something about this beautiful place that you've given us. So help us, give us your wisdom and your guidance. In your precious name, Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen. Amen. All right, guys. So without wasting time, let me take this precious opportunity to welcome my brother, Osita Oparaugo. I hope I pronounce your name well.
Yes,
First,
yes, yes, Mike. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on your show.
yeah,
Thank you.
I appreciate, brother. First of all, it's an honor to have you here today. You know, it's always beautiful to see one African brother from the other side of Africa, another African brother sitting down and have this conversation. So I really appreciate you for
Thank you very
coming
much.
in.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Let's start with that. How can we pronounce your name?
So my name is pronounced Osita,
Okay.
Osita, Osita, and my last name you can break into two,
Yeah.
Osita or Paraugo, or if you're from West Africa, maybe it's a lot easier to pronounce. You can call it Opraugo, but it's
Uh,
Osita, Osita, and then
mhm.
Opraugo. Thank you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What's the meaning of your name, by the way? It's just a random question to break the ice.
Okay, so Osita means it's actually the shorter form of Osita Adema, which is the full name. It means it is good from today. So today I'm
Oh,
appearing on your show, and your show is going to take a better turn. In the name of Jesus, I pray for you that your show takes a better turn. So it is
oh,
good from
mhm,
today is what my
mhm.
name means. Thank you.
It
Thank
is
you.
good
What a
from
random
today.
question.
Osita, I love that. It is good from today, man.
Today, correct.
I feel like taking your name away. It is good from today.
Correct.
I appreciate that. I appreciate my brother. Well, first of all, let me appreciate as well Tunacheki because I get to know you through Tunacheki. He shared with me your content, and he was like, "Hey, this is an amazing dude. You should have a conversation with him." And so I want to shout out to Tunacheki for this connection. This is what we do, to brothers. Yeah, but well, Osita, it is good starting from today. Um,
Correct.
yeah, let us know a little bit for those people who do not know who is Osita, and what are you doing right now currently, and a little bit of your history, background. Maybe for those who do not know you, you can let us know a little bit.
Okay, so I am a lawyer by training,
Hmm.
and I am an African, like you said, right? So
Hmm.
I have founded and exited
Hmm.
um, about 4 tech companies, but you know why Tunacheki and other people, like, they know me deeply. They call me the spirit of Africa. That's
Hmm.
my nickname. It's because all the companies, tech companies that I have founded and exited, and even the one that we're going to talk about now, they are
Yeah,
all Afrocentric. They are all
yeah,
focused in building a better Africa. There is
hmm,
no place for us as
hmm,
Africans than Africa. If
yeah,
we don't develop here, no one
hmm,
is going to develop it for us.
yeah,
And for me, as an African, I take pride in engaging myself in
hmm.
businesses that promote the continent, that
Absolutely.
promote Africa. So
Hmm,
in the past, like you say, what have I done, right?
hmm,
There's a whole lot of things I have done in the past
hmm,
as an entrepreneur, as a lawyer, but the one that gives me joy that I can
hmm,
share with you this
hmm,
night is what I did, myself and my team, amazing
hmm,
team at the time, did for
hmm,
the government of Sierra Leone.
hmm,
It may interest you to know
hmm,
that in 2016, after the eradication of Ebola,
hmm.
when the World Health Organization has said that Sierra Leone is Ebola free, that the government of Sierra Leone and the good people of Sierra Leone were left by themselves. Every foreign company operating in Sierra Leone, as a matter of fact, 98% of the companies that are not African have left Sierra Leone. So when my good friend then, who was the head of the Sierra Leone Investment Promotion Agency, spoke to the president, and I was invited into Freetown, I cried for the people of Sierra Leone. I cried for the people of Africa, because at the point when the push came to shove, Africa was alone.
Yeah.
When Ebola has ravaged the country, Africa was left alone. So I went back at that time, I went back to New York, and I put a couple of my friends together, and we put money together, and then we came back to Sierra Leone. About 21 of us, we stayed in Sierra Leone for 17 days, and we filmed a documentary that is called I Have Seen Sierra Leone. That documentary is on YouTube today. That documentary was what we handed over to the government of Sierra Leone to use on their investment drive. They used it in Switzerland, I heard they used it in London, they used it in New York to attract investors back into Sierra Leone. It cost us nearly $250,000 at the time to do this documentary without taking 1 cent from the government of Sierra Leone. 1 cent. As a matter of fact, I think what the government of Sierra Leone did at that time was to provide security and transportation. The security we didn't even need, because Freetown is amazing. Freetown is fantastic. It's a beautiful place to be. So we moved around and we did that. So to me, yes, that is the documentary right there. Oh my goodness. You make me cry, bro. That is the documentary right there. I wrote this documentary with 3 of my amazing team at the time. We filmed it from A to Z and handed it over to the government of Sierra Leone. For me, if you ask me, this is my greatest gift. This is our greatest gift to Africa, at least in the last 10 years. This documentary. It costs nothing to the government of Sierra Leone. Thank you.
Wow. Brother, I need to ask you this question, because everything that you said, it really resonating with me. But I want to know, where did this passion come from? Like, why did you start doing this? I know we're going to talk about a lot of things, even moving to our topic, but I just want to know, like, when did you have that, let's say, awakening? Because we have a lot of Africans, right? And not everyone stand for what you stand or believe what you believe. But when did this passion, and you realize that, oh, I got to do something for this continent, and this is how I'm going to do it?
So you see, a lot had happened with me as a person, right?
Yeah.
I may not want to share what has happened or what exactly did happen before I came back into the continent, and to think that, yes, I should be part of developing this country, because that is now in the past. Nevertheless, I have a message to your diaspora viewers. My message to your diaspora viewers is, don't get to the point where I got living overseas to realize that Africa is your home. I think I'm talking to very smart people. They will understand what I have not said anything, but I have said a lot. Wherever you are outside of the continent of Africa, do not get to the point where I got to recognize or realize that Africa is home. I have seen this continent. I have been to nearly 33 African countries. There is nowhere like this continent. It's an amazing place with amazing people. And by the way, if you're looking for money and you're not in Africa, I am not sure you're looking for money, because this is where it is. So it is high time that we send the right message to the world, to global investors, to African Americans, to our brothers in Caribbean, and say, this is time to come home. Because if you're not in Africa, you're not in business yet. Thank you.
Appreciate, my brother. So one of the things that you have and I want to start from that as you are going towards to our topic of today and what we discuss. Is about this online education technology platform that you
Yes.
dedicated to STEM and digital skills learning, for all Africans across this continent, maybe inside and as well as outside of the world. I want to know, how did this idea come to existence, and what is all about?
Okay, so thank you for putting up this platform. So the platform is called Get Bunty. And it's a STEM and digital skill platform, right? But how did it come about? Our common friend, Tunacheki, who's doing amazing stuff out of Kenya, he had worked with me on one of our previous platforms that's called Ogele, Oglee. It's a video sharing platform for African content, right? Remember, I've said to you that I have been to over 30 African countries.
Yeah.
In moving around the continent of Africa, I realized something. I realized that we have an amazing people. I realized we have an amazing youth who want to be productive. But one thing is lacking in the people. What is lacking in the people is the inability of African government to embrace STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That is what is lacking in our people. We have the numbers, right? So you hear people tell you that Africa is 1 billion. And by the way, in the next 50 years or so, Africa is going to have the biggest workforce in the whole world on earth. The highest workforce will be in Africa. But it's not about the number. If you have these numbers and the numbers are not productive, what do you have? When we move around Africa, we get into Tanzania and we can't find coders, people who can write code languages, right? What are we doing? If we can't have cinematographers, we can't have video editors, we can't have cybersecurity people, we can't have search engine optimization agents, what are we building as a nation, as a continent, when the world is technologically developing, evolving every day? I realized, and my team, that the biggest challenge Africa has is the inability of the continent to refocus our education system towards STEM. If we refocus our education system in Africa towards STEM, this continent will pick up. Imagine China. China went from no flush toilet in just 40 years. China went from no flush toilet to building space stations in only 40 years. What did China do differently? China embraced science, technology, and innovation. How did they do that? China first went down and introduced STEM into their school curriculum, starting from the primary level, then into the secondary post-primary education level, before even the universities. Let me shock you. Let's look at facts. Let's look at facts. Do you know that only 17% of Africans who go into the university study science, go to the science fields, or study any science-related course? 17%.
So 83% they...
83% go to the university, and they want to be lawyers. Okay, that's fine, I'm a lawyer, right? But the reality today, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, to all the lawyers in the world, right? In the next 10 years, there may not be lawyers anywhere. 70-80% of the law work will go. Robot lawyer will take over the job, right? In my own office, we have 2 lawyers who are paid whatever they are paid, which I cannot come to, say on a live podcast, right? We have 2 engineers, we call them engineers, right? Who didn't go to the universities. One is a graphic artist, one cinematographer, and one video editor. They make more money than the lawyers in our office. because they have skill. So the skill set is what we are talking about. That is the direction Africa should go. But you cannot get into the university to study any engineering field if you don't understand and appreciate STEM from secondary school. How are you going to do that? So we built, having realized that Africa has this shortfall, right? How do we make it up? What do we do to get Africa to understand that the world is technologically evolving? How can Africa be competitive in the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, even now, if we don't embrace science, technology, and innovation? So that's what we created Get Bundi. That's what our platform is all about. Get Bundi is two platforms in one platform. Get Bundi has the STEM platform for post-primary education. In post-primary education, we are trying to support the secondary school system all across Africa with quality, accessible STEM subjects for that 6 years of post-primary education. And then we have the Get Bundi digital skill. The digital skill arm of Get Bundi is teaching African youth is to upskill and reskill the African workforce, because we believe 100% that if Africa refocuses our education towards STEM and digital skill, that we will provide a digital workforce that will drive the modern economy. We have gone past the time of AIDS. We are talking about building a workforce that will be competitive to drive the modern economy. That's what our platform is all about.
You know, I love it so much, Osita, because you know, I said this at the beginning, that these days we have it's sad when you see majority of people victimizing themselves and talking about the issues and problems we have without figuring out the solutions. I think it's the time to talk about the solutions, and I think this is what you and your team have done in this part, because I do remember back in the days after we fought against colonialism, you know, we thought we won, that, okay, we're independent. We celebrated, but then we didn't have really strategic plans. How are we going to get ourselves out of economic situation? So after colonization, we still had colonization going on even up to today in Africa, just simply because of economy, right? If you have a country that, you know, a huge amount of money and our budget, we hugely depend on the Western. We don't really lead our country. We don't really have a say to anything today, because if we want to stand against this, then, you know, they're going to put sanction on us and we are not able to move. And right now, as you're saying, the world has been heading toward technology. China, they already knew that, you know, years back. Right now, they're leading the world. But not only that, the good example is India. India knew that, and they started to invest in that a while ago. Today, top CEOs, top leaders in this world. I'm talking about, you know, Prime Minister of UK, and even there's another guy I saw. His name is
Mike. Let me help you.
And so many other engineers and CEOs. They are from India.
Let me help you. Let me help you. In India today, there are 107 unicorns in India. 107 unicorns. I mean, and I know we all know what unicorn is. A unicorn, I mean, but also for the sake of the viewers, a unicorn is a company, mostly, you know, tech companies that's valued for $1 billion and above. So once a company is valued for $1 billion and above, $1 billion valuation and above, they say it's a unicorn.
Unicorn company,
India has 107 unicorns as of today, 107, with a revenue of over $340 billion US. India has over 1,800 engineers that work with, like, you know, your big companies like Twitter and all the rest of them, right? Those guys, they sit in India. They work for companies out of India, and they receive money paid into Indian economy. Do you know what it is if 100 million of Africans live in Africa, work for companies overseas, and get money sent into Africa? Do you know what that will mean to this continent?
Exactly. Yeah.
Africa has only 7 unicorns. India has 107 unicorns. Africa has only 7. The entire Africa as a continent has just 7 unicorns. And look at our numbers. Let me shock you. Statistically, by 2030, Africa is going to have a 240, some organizations say 300 million job gap in the digital space.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is for a continent to have 250 million job gap? This is huge. How is the continent going to fill this gap if we don't have several of Get Bundi's, what we have built? That is revolutionizing education towards science, towards vocational skills. Come on. It's good to go to the university, right? I put up a survey on LinkedIn, and I said vocational skill versus university degree. What do we need in today's economy? The result is very clear. It is very clear. So I said to you, if we must build an Africa beyond aid, if we must build an Africa that's based on technology, we have to start now. We have to refocus our education system. We have to embrace STEM. We have to embrace vocational training in digital space so that our people can be meaningfully, gainfully employed. Let's look at the numbers. I think that Africa is going to have nearly 700 million people by 2030 that will be under 35 years. Some people will put it at 1 billion. But let's say we have 700 million people who will be under 35 years by 2030, 7 years. Let's say out of these 700 million people, just 250 million of them have various digital skills, and they work for companies. So out of these 250 million with digital skills, let's say 150 million work for companies in Africa. And let's say the other 100 million work for companies overseas. And they are paid only $1,000 in a month. What do you think will come into Africa? It's $1,000 times 100 million. That's what's going to come into Africa every month.
Wow.
Look, in 2022, the diaspora remittance into Africa, according to, I think, is the World Bank, is about 92 billion. But that's not the issue. 92 billion came into Africa as diaspora remittance in 2022. I bet you over 70% of them didn't come out of workforce. Over 70% of them came from family and friends. So my brother lives in England. He sends my mom £100 a month. So £1,200 a year. And it's calculated as diaspora remittance into Africa. It didn't solve any problem. Maybe my mom used it and made a very beautiful Nigerian soup. that is social remittance, right? But what I'm talking is different. I'm talking about digitalizing this continent. I'm talking about the continent focusing training on the youth, okay, but in the digital space. I'm talking about having 50 million Africans work for companies outside of Africa and then being paid in those currencies into Africa. That is what I will call a new Africa. That is my dream for a new Africa. I don't know if you know one syndrome in Nigeria that is called the Japa syndrome. It's J-A-P-A. And it means like when people go overseas, moving overseas to go and look for greener pastures. So Nigeria, they say he has Japa, J-A-P-A. You don't Japa, I want Japa. It means I want to leave the continent. I'm tired, I'm checking out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I've heard that, yeah.
90% of the people who Japa don't have any skill. If they get to where they are Japaing to, they will begin to sweep the road. If 90% of the people who Japa from Nigeria have digital skills, when they get to wherever they are going to, they will be instantly employable because they have job-ready skills.
Yeah.
You see, there was an incident that happened, I think it was 4 years ago. A very friend of mine has said to me, there was a construction going on in Lagos, Nigeria at the time. And the Chinese firm that was constructing this multi-billion hotel had brought in over 100 Chinese workers to work on the site. What were they doing? Plumbing, electrical, tiling, messing. Is that what we cannot do? We cannot do it because we don't have these skill acquisition centers where our people can learn these jobs. You see, so for me, when you talk about unemployment, youth unemployment in Africa, it is the direction of the government. It is the direction of even private sector for not investing in the education sector, but beyond investing in the education sector, not investing in vocational training. So you cannot build a new Africa if you don't take vocational training very seriously.
Yeah. Well, what you say is really important, and I agree with it, 1,000%. Because the point that I was trying to make is that I see these patterns of Africa not learning from the mistakes that we've done in the past, starting from colonialism, coming right now economically, but right now moving forward, this issue that we're talking today, like we're talking about the huge amount of number of people that they will be unemployed because the world is already in technology sector and we don't have that skills. So there's a huge shortage of skillful people, expertise to run these places, and that's why you find the issue of we have Chinese all over the countries. They're the one that are running projects. If you find our people there, they will be just doing some other list work, like mapping up the floor and doing this and this, but all those top jobs they're not done by our people most of the places. But the most dangerous thing, another thing that I think you talked at the beginning, and I'd love to hear your suggestion, because that's not just happening in Nigeria, but even in my country. When I meet young people, it hurts me because most of young people I meet, they don't want to stay here in Africa. They want to run away and find a better life somewhere else. Not only that, but most of skillful people that we have, there's an issue of brain drain. Most of them, they're taken away maybe through scholarship. They go to the UK, they go to the US, they study there, and after they graduate, because they're smart, most of them are genius, they get job there, they end up working in all these big top companies. They produce and manufacture for them so much. I have a lot of friends like that. I talk to them all the time. But what happened is, in Africa, we're still losing that brain, all the expertise that we have. The matter of fact, even when you go to the UK, you know how many Nigerian doctors are in the UK, right? Just in the sector of medicine, or even US, more than 10, more than 1,000 of doctors are there working in there. But when you come to technology, we also have a lot of Africans who actually have ability to do coding, to create, to innovate a lot of stuff. And I know some of them are my friends because I lived outside for a long time. They're doing it for them and not for Africa. The reason is, first of all, because of the income, and which is solid to most of people. You got to take care of your family, right? And how are you going to take care of your family if you don't get enough income? So most of them, they decide to just end up working for them. And Africa is keep losing brain, and we still struggle with the same issue, the same problem, and we're gonna still struggling with this. How are we going to handle this challenge? How can we get more of you or more of me, people who will come back and be, you know what, even though I might not have an opportunity to work somewhere, but I'm going to start a company and I'm going to develop my country, I'm going to develop my continent. How are we going to get there?
Okay, so that's going to be a mix of so many things, right? But let's start from somewhere. The people who are moving, they move because of better pay, you say, right?
Yeah.
Some move because they want to go to a more structured society, right?
Absolutely.
But the truth is that some move, right? Because they do not have the enabling environment for them to thrive in the continent. And it's accumulative of so many factors.
Yeah.
But let's start from what I've said to you before.
Yeah.
If we refocus,
yeah,
our education system towards STEM, okay, and then the number of people who get into the universities to study sciences, okay, now jump from 17% to 55, 65%. If we bring out, say you chunk out 1 million for the sake of this conversation, okay, 1 million engineers, computer engineers in a year around Africa, right, for the sake of this conversation, right?
Yeah.
You will see that 25% may go, but you have the 75% left. The 75% that you have left, 25% of them may start companies here that will end up becoming the unicorn. All right? While the other 50%, okay, will work for companies outside of Africa. So, in India, I said before, has 107 unicorns.
Yes.
If 107 unicorns in India employ 1,000 people, for the sake of this conversation, it's 1,000 times 107.
Yeah.
This 107, the multiplier effect of the salaries that they receive and support their families to start other businesses here and there, okay, the economy is growing. Remember, nobody wants to be, no matter how beautiful America is, no matter how beautiful Europe is, no matter how beautiful you think Asia is, nobody wants to leave their home.
Yeah.
If you offer a typical Nigerian today who lives in the US, 50% of what he gets there in Nigeria, he would rather be here than be there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if we, and this is key, unfortunately, this your leaders don't see it, but it's key. If we refocus our education system towards STEM and build strong companies, okay, in the digital space, because that's where the world is going to. You have to go with the world. You have to attract the interest of global investors. You have to know the direction of global investors, and the direction is in tech. If we do that, we will build a better continent. If we build a better continent, our people will stay.
Yeah.
The youth unemployment that you see, let me tell you, there are no smart young people anywhere in the world than you see in Africa. If you give opportunity to Nigerian youths, bring 1 million Nigerian youths today and teach them coding, teach 1 million Nigerian youths coding today, in 5 years, they'll turn the world upside down.
Absolutely.
That's how smart Nigeria is. Nigerian youth. That's how smart Tanzania, Kenya, South Africa, Mozambique. I have traveled to nearly over 30 African countries, and I have seen firsthand very smart people. What they lack is opportunity.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the brain drain, your best going overseas, they are few. That's why you notice them. If you have 1 million doctors in Nigeria, and 10% of them or 20% of them leave, you will not notice it. But if you have 1,500 leave, come on, man, you'll see the vacuum.
Absolutely.
So that's why my message, my team, I have a very fantastic team, and our message to the world, to Africa, is simple. Refocus the education system. Think more of STEM for secondary school, post-primary education. Think more in the vocational training. Think more in digital skill training. Think towards this direction. Get Africans who leave post-primary education with digital skill sets that is job ready. Remember this. Post-primary education, most people call secondary school, is the last schooling so many Africans receive before they enter the workforce. Not many of them end up in the universities. If they are able to catch one digital skill set or the other during these 6 years of post-primary school, and they get into the workforce, they'll become instantly employable. And when that happens and they are making money, they will not japa. So the whole of what our discussion should be, and I have said that to, I had the privilege of meeting with the technical team of Economic Community of West African States, their education department, Education Commission of ECOWAS. And I made it very clear to them that they had to, as a matter of urgency, unify the ECOWAS curriculum, and as a matter of urgency, introduce STEM learning, make it mandatory for post-primary education, and add digital skill to it if they want African youth, West African youth, to be competitive. The same message I have taken to Southern African Development Commission, the same message I am bringing to you guys, my wonderful people in East Africa. Thank you.
I love this, my brother Osita, and now it make really sense, the meaning of your name, Osita. You know, hearing all this stuff, because for those who do not understand, do not know what we're talking about, you guys can go back to watch at the beginning. You understand the meaning of Osita. You know, this is what I feel, my brother. I think us meeting here today and having this conversation is the beginning of great and good relationship for our people. You know, you know, as SNOA, you know, I would love, you know, to partner with you in any way, so that, because the message you're carrying, you know, our vision, as I said at the beginning, it's to unite our people, and technology, it does a huge part of it. This STEM and this you know, company that you're running, and this knowledge that you're talking about, it's and I believe is this, a lot of people, there might be people who, and you know, understand that, they know that, they want that to happen, they raise concern about this, because this is the need, it's the need that we have. Everybody knows today, if you go to start IT, you are assured to have a job. because we are lacking a lot
Yeah.
of people in that sector. You know what I'm saying? So I want us to partner as much as we can so that we can reach to as many people as we can and raise our voice together, because that's one of the things that we need to do as Africans, to come together and to raise our voice collectively as one people, that this is what we want for the continent. Because I do believe if African youth will come together and raise this awareness, those people who are in the African Union, if they raise these agendas, this something is doable. It can be done, because we are struggling right now because of that skills and that knowledge. If we want
Yeah.
to see a changed Africa in few years to come, then we really need skilled Africans who are going
Yes.
to actually, hold those officers' position, who are actually
Yes.
going to come up with different stuff. But there's one thing that I want me and you to talk about. You've spoken about a lot of young people that are looking for opportunities, and opportunities are not there. So we're asking governments to change all this curriculum, to start teaching our kids from the very kindergarten all the way to these schools and university. But let's see this in a different perspective,
Yes.
because a lot of our governments are, I'm sorry to say this, but stubborn. Sometimes it takes a long time to make a change to something that is really important for our people. And I think for me and you, I'm youth. I know that I'm gonna live here for a lot of years I have ahead of me, and I want to see this
Amen.
happening right now. For my kids to be in a better Africa than the place I am right now. How can we as a youth?
Yes.
I would love to call upon the people in the diaspora, people who are out there. How can we create these opportunities as well on our own? Because right now, of course, we are asking the governments to reconsider and to put these schemes and everything. But in the meantime, as we're
Yes.
still requesting and still waiting, we need to create our own opportunities. We see
Yes.
opportunities out there. It's a moment for us to go to grab it and to do it. So how can we create these opportunities for the rest of our people, for the rest of
Very
Africans? We can't
simple.
wait for leaders to do things for us. We gotta
Very
take
simple.
control. Yeah.
Very simple, Mike. Michael, listen.
Yeah.
So I'm the founder of Get Bundi, right?
Yes.
And we have what we call Get Bundi Vision 2033. And Get Bundi Vision 2033 is to upskill 10 million Africans, the African workforce.
Wow. I love
Okay.
that.
Okay, so look at this. You want to upskill 10 million African workforce, right? If you set up another Get Bundi in Tanzania, and you said to upskill 10 million, and Tunacheki, our common friend, the good guy, sets up another Get Bundi in Kenya to upskill 10 million Africans. In 2033, three of us would have upskilled 30 million Africans or reskilled 30 million Africans.
Absolutely.
So, while we wait for the government, let us as a people, the private sector, should invest in education. Education is expensive. And let me tell you another statistics that you may not want to hear.
Yeah.
South Africa is the highest investor in education due to the yearly budget, right? Budgetary expenses, right? Do you know what the percentage of their investment into education is? Less than 17%. Nigeria invests less than 10% in education in a year. But the world standard is 20% and above. So that means no country in Africa spends up to 20% of their budget or allocates up to 20% of their budget towards education. How can you develop as a continent? So I think that it is high time that private sector players understand the need to invest in the education system. If they do that, collectively, we will be building a new Africa. If they invest not only in the education system, but also in sciences, we will be building a new Africa. It pains me when I see on WhatsApp, people share, when you see a Nigerian that's doing fantastic, an African that's so amazing in technology, the next minute here is Nigerian American.
Yeah.
Nigerian British, Nigerian, Tanzania born, American based. That is what you and I hear every day, because we have not invested so much in education to benefit our people here. Let me say to you what's going on right now with our platform. We have the Get Bundi Education Foundation. And we agreed as a team to train 500 women in coding for free.
Wow.
500 women in coding.
Wow.
We did a press release on the 24th of April. We had a press release out of our Lagos office. In 48 hours, we had 507 people apply, women, to study coding for free.
Wow.
People applied from South Africa, people applied from Kenya, people applied from Lagos, people applied from all over Africa. 507 in 48 hours. Today, I hear we have about 1,427 people have applied to study coding on our platform for free for that 3 months, June to August. But we can't accommodate that. We can't accommodate that because it's free, not because it's free, then we have to do anyhow. That's not the culture of our company. We are built in a kind of way. We do things as Get Bundi team, and it has to be top notch, right? So now we have to go all out there now to begin to talk to the Microsoft of this world, the Oracle of this world, to all these big companies, say, hey, listen, we have a problem on our hand. We had a press release to train 500 women so we can support and bridge the gender gap, the inequality in tech. But now we have over 1,400 women who want to learn coding. What does that show you, Mike? That shows you that, one, the women are here. The numbers are here. Two, the willingness to learn is there. Three, the opportunity is not there. So that means if the private sector, apart from government, if the private sector people, not NGOs, international organizations that work in Africa, if they really want to support the continent and come up with initiatives like we've come up with the Tech6, our training code is Tech6. Tech6 2023. We want to reverse the tech bro. The tech bro, everybody, oh, my tech bro. What happened to women? So because we want to bridge that gender gap, we call it the Tech6. If 100 people, 100 companies train 1,000 women for free in digital skills every year in Africa, it will be 1,000 times 100. These women will be liberated from all sorts of danger that is associated with poverty and what they go through. So to answer your question in one sentence, we, the private sector people, have to invest in education. We have to invest in technology. We have to come together as a people and partner, form network of partners across the continent, support each other where necessary, so we can support the youth, so the youth can have job-ready skills, so they can acquire the right skills that drive modern economy. That's what I think.
100%, 100%, brother. And it's fascinating. Let me just take a moment to give you a round of applause, because one of the things that Africans we need to learn is to appreciate one another. There's no need to compete. There's no need, but there's a need to celebrate one another, especially for that initiative that you and your company done. Maybe let me say this, that when the company decide to train those people, that number of people, that means the company is going to go under loss, because the company is being run by money. But training someone for free, the knowledge and skills that people who are training them, they're actually working in the company and they're being paid. That's a different kind of heart, brother. And I want to applaud you for that, because if we don't need Mzungu to come and to support us. This is what I'm saying. We don't need Mzungu to come today. Mzungu is white men or white people. In our language, you say Mzungu. We don't need, if we find a people like you who are owning all this company that will come and train our people, not only that, but if we find people in the government position, leaders, that will really know that education in Africa is a serious problem. I think in Africa, we should spend even more percentage than any other country around the world, because we have a serious problem in education. Most of our education system is like that. We still use the old ones, and we need to upgrade them, and we need to invest more money on that, because we need to create a generation that will run this continent. This continent, if you look at the prediction of the numbers, within a few years later, will be a lot of billions number. Right now it's 1.3 and something, but it will increase more than that.
Yeah.
The majority of our generation are youth, more than 60%, under the age of 30. Right, that shows that there's a huge number of people rising every single day of our people. But how are we going to accommodate this number of people with the jobs?
Let me tell you something. Let me shock you, Michael.
Yeah.
Let me shock you. But before I say that, I want to correct one thing. Yeah. So please. So you said what I am doing, right, in training these people. Yes. But I want to correct that before we continue, right? Yeah. What we are doing. I have an amazing team who, without them, I wouldn't be here. Fantastic people, young people across Africa, 2 in Kenya, 3 in Rwanda, about 9 of them here, who have put out their heart into helping to build the Get Bunti and the direction where we are going to. That is, having said that, I do a big shout out to this amazing team. Okay.
That's incredible.
But now to your question. Imagine, you see, we have leaders who don't think. We have leaders in Africa who don't think. Yeah. Imagine if the leaders realize what you have just said, that we will have 60% of our people, 60% of 1.3 billion people that are under 30 years. Imagine if you give them the right training, vocational training in digital skills, and then help to ship them that overseas. Do you want to Japan? We Japan 1 million. We package 10 million Nigerians. We ship them to the world. 1 million Tanzania, ship to the world. 1 million Kenya, ship to the world. We are shipping people who have skill. We are shipping people who are job ready. We are shipping people who will return money to Africa. Diaspora remittance that you see that sit at 92 billion in 2022. If 60% of Africans all over the world, outside of Africa, have skill sets, this 92 billion would be times 6.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you see, whether they are in the continent, whether they are shipped out of the continent, if they have skill, it's a benefit to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We cannot also rely 100% in the government to do that. Whilst we are pushing the government to do what they need to do so that our people will have the skills, let us also, as a people, talk to investors, private sector people. Let's begin to also invest in digital training, invest in vocational institutions that offer digital training. Digital skill is everything. Let me tell you, in the next 10 years, human-to-human contact will be a luxury. Human-to-human contact will be luxury in the next 10 years. You want to listen to Davido? Davido will stay in his house and stage a concert. And 1 billion people will see it across the world and be dancing in their homes, drinking champagne in their homes, and he's sitting in one spot. Because you will pay like 1,000 to be able to sit in that show. In so many other ways, human-to-human contact will be luxury in 10 years. The time for Africa is now. There's going to be any giant out of this world in the next 10 years, it should be Africa. Because we have the number. We have the number, we have the desire, the people are willing to learn, the people need the opportunities. Let's go and create that opportunity for our people to survive.
No, amen to that. Amen to that.
That is the good story.
Amen to that. I love that. Brother, let me read a couple of the comments here that they came. And also, guys, let me say this. If you have any question, please drop it right now. We are nearly the end of this session, and I'll ask my brother here, Osita. If you have any question, please drop. But in the meantime, let me read some of the comments here. We have a lot of short comments here. Good day to you, Kagoma, Marit. Let me read. Somebody say you have a prophetic name. Yeah, that's absolutely. Greeting from all of us at Team Face of Arise Africa. Ikechuku. Appreciate Ikechuku. I know the meaning of Ikechuku. It means God's power. Ikechuku. Because my best friend, his name is Ikechuku. Ikechuku Opara Obonike something. Keep on with the good work from Martin Eberechi. Uche is a yes, technology is the way forward. Pi is a yep, they created the 1,000 Talents program. Now their STEM education is globally competitive. I think he was talking about China. Connected and technology is the thing now globally. Whoa, I never heard of that. I did not notice USA thought that Indian governments invest heavily in their doctors and engineers. I always see them in the Eastern USA. Get Bun chatting the way to take Africa. Great job, guys. Sadeke, Dr. Sadeke from Ethiopia said technology in education, health, business, it is the way for Africa to take ownership, build unity, and collaboration among ourselves. Proud of all Africans who strive in technology. That's amazing. That's amazing. All African countries should embrace Get Bundi now. This is the only way out against the future digital colonization. I love that. By the way, count me in, brother Osita. You know, anything you need from this side, you know, I'm in.
Thank you.
I'm part of your team already. You know, we always say this here in Swahili
Thank
Nation
you.
that whenever we have a conversation like this, you become part of our family. So you are part of our family as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Micah.
Yeah. So, Mr. Osita, maybe if there's something that you know you really wanted to talk about today that I didn't get to ask a question to you, I'll give you an opportunity as well to share that with us as well.
No, to be honest, I think Micah would have said it all. My message to your followers, your viewers, my message to Africa is that there is no better continent than here. We are God's loved, our climate good, weather's good, people are nice, our food is nice, everything about us, our music is awesome.
Oh, man.
Let's stay back here and let's build an Africa that will be an Africa that we all will be proud of. Let's change the narrative. Let's look at something new. You let Africa, the new Africa that is possible, be an Africa that is based on technology, an Africa that will lead the way. Let's not leave the government to do it. The government will do their best. We will do our best as the same people. Let's work together. Let's have a network. Let's be united. And we will actually build that Africa of our dream. So for me, Get Bundi is out there. We built Get Bundi. Yes, it's a company that's set to make money, but to be very honest, our mission as a people is to help build a digital-based workforce that will drive modern economy. We want to see 100 million people go through the digital learning of get Bundi, and then get meaningful in helping to develop their various countries in Africa. We want more investment into the sector. We want support from organizations that work here. We have Get Bundi Foundation because we can't do it alone. We need support. We need partnerships. We need collaborations. And to be very honest, we want to be that platform that's actually helping build the new Africa that will run the modern technology economy. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. You say something that really I had to put this meaning that we came up with, about the one Africa that we are fighting for. It's not, when we talk about that, a lot of people, they think, politically, and our meaning is not really based on that. But our meaning is not about one government and Africa, but it's rather a united effort to form an alliance group beyond what African Union is doing. It's united effort of Get Bundi, of Swahili Nation, of Tunachek, of this person and that person. Is the united effort. These alliances that we force right now in West and East coming together. And I mean, I know my brother here is Pan-Africanist too. He believes in the united Africa. Our vision is to have that one Africa in our generation. And his company is about technology, which is the very precious element to the future of this continent, to the change and transformation of this continent. Why not joining our hands together and work toward that? Why not, I hope in very soon you'll have Get Boon Tanzania as well. I'm saying, your boy, I'll be right here. Why not doing that to bring people more in this sector and to transform this continent? So I appreciate you, my brother Osita, for all the good work you're doing. And I want to say this is the first conversation I'm having with you, but I would love to have this conversation continuously with you, because I think we need to speak as much as we can for people to hear, for people to know, to understand, and to start engaging in these ideas and this knowledge that you're just providing here. So anytime, my brother, if you have a message, if you have something you'd like to have in conversation, I'm here. This platform is for you now. We can always have this session. You can always, we can always talk about this stuff anytime, like literally anytime you want to have a session.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity, Micah. Thank you. And many thanks to your viewers globally. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then thank you to Tunacheki for bringing this wonderful guy to our way. We love you guys in Kenya. We love you. We love you. We love you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, my brother. I'll let you go for now.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, guys, come on, man. Shout out to my brother Osita here. I just have my new brother right here, man, for the work, wonderful work that he's doing. Man, I'm inspired. I hope you guys are inspired too. I really hope you're inspired too. And if you are late coming here, please go back, listen to the conversation from the beginning to the end. It was very short, very precise, and I believe it's very impactful. I believe it's going to bring a beckoning of new hope, in Africa. So please, you can share this conversation with some other people there as well, so that they may come and check it out and also learn. And I appreciate everybody who came to join. It's good to see you, Niger. It's been a while. Nana Dreams, it's good to see you here. Regno Music, the entire family here. It's good. Anukami, Pai, you guys are always here, Sadeke. It's good to see you guys for joining here. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We have very interesting shows. It's coming up tomorrow. I'll be coming here. We'll be having a conversation to talk about Sudan crisis. I have the group of number of people from Sudan. We have been chatting and talking through a WhatsApp group. We created a WhatsApp group, and tomorrow we're going to come here to talk everything about what's going on in Sudan. So if you don't know what's really happening, what's really going on tomorrow, we'll have people from Sudan here the same time, 9 p.m. East African time, to talk about the Sudan crisis. And why we're doing that is because we want our people to be aware of what's going on, not only from that media and that media, no, from our own people, Sudanese. Second, we want our people to come together as one Africa to stand with Sudan. If you are Tanzanian, Ethiopian, Nigerian, Kenyan, Ugandan, in the diaspora, want you guys to stand with Sudan. in this time. And tomorrow we're going to come to give a way forward. What are we going to do after listening and hearing the stories from our brother and sister from Sudan? And, we're going to carry on from there. That's tomorrow's show. And not only that, I'm fired up, all right, this time. And then the next day after that, I'll be having another conversation here with one of amazing guy that I met face to face last time when I went to Ethiopia. He's doing incredible for young generation. Incredible, really amazing work. That will be the next day after that. Today, what's the day of the? I'm losing. Okay, Monday today. We're having this conversation. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about Sudan crisis, and we'll keep talking about it, as much as we can. And on Wednesday we'll be having another conversation as well. So we're gonna be having it's gonna be pretty busy right now looking here, because for all the time that we've been quiet, we've also been reaching out to some people to connect and to bring back what we have here. And not only that, but also there's a new show that is coming up. Me and another person. This person, he's not even from Africa, but me and him, we're gonna be having here a conversation about Africa, because I know this person, I've met him, and we've connected for so many times. We chat almost all the time, and I know there's something that we as a people can learn from other people as well. Africans, this is the time to learn, and you don't choose where to learn. We have our brothers and sisters in the diaspora who are learning, and they come back. Like my brother Osita here, created an amazing platform here, Get Bundi. And we have some other diaspora, outside of this continent. Our brother to Niger, I hope you're doing, incredible things, to Nigeria as well. It's been a while to Niger, great things there. And this person is not African, but the show that we are going to bring to you, it's basically about what we're talking about today. Because one of the things that he always talk about is about, raising skillful Africans who are going to take over this continent. And he's not just talking, but he's talking based on his own experience. He has a heart for Africa, and he has been spending so many years here in Africa to transform our people. And most of you, maybe you know him, maybe you've already seen him. He's a very influential person. And I have a huge respect for this man. Huge respect for it. He lived in Kenya, he lived in Tanzania, he is now living in Ethiopia. So it's gonna be really incredible show, and we'll have that continuously, maybe once in a month, maybe once in 2 weeks or 1 week. It depends on what we're going to agree on. So I'm really excited for that. Stay tuned, because the moment is now. This is the time that we're going to bring change to this continent, and this is the time that we're going to show the way how to do it. All right, we ain't just gonna talk about it, but we're going to show the way as well on how to do it. Nana Dreams, thank you so much for the super chat. It means a lot. It feels like it has been forever. We haven't been doing, live stream for a while, so we haven't seen super chat for such a long time. But I want to appreciate you, Nana Dreams. And now it's even more personal because I know you in person right now, right? So thank you, Nana Dreams. I love you, for wonderful support that you are, showing us here. It's a good way to start a new show, Yeah. So guys, well, if you'd like to know more about the Get Bundi platform, let me share with you guys the link. I shared it before, but I'll share it again. Please go and check that out. Check out that link. And and learn. If you want to learn some studies, technology studies, let's support our brother. All right, go and sign up for some stuff. This is the time you do it. All right, go ahead and do it. It's for our people. You just heard the story here of supporting like a huge number of women in Africa to just learn how to code from the scratch. All right, that's a huge initiative. Okay, I don't even want to use if, but you are an African. It's the time to get behind our people, those people who are leading us, those people who are doing crazy and amazing things for this continent. It's a time to stand with them and to support those initiatives. It doesn't matter whether this guy is from that country, this guy is from this. And no. It's a time for us to speak the common language, and the common language is a united Africa, is one Africa, and that's our vision. So let's get behind Osita, let's get behind Get Bund, go through this link, learn, see what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And if you can sign up for classes, they have courses there. Go and sign up. I was actually showing here, they have courses here, STEM courses. They're right here. Let me just go through it a little bit. Education mathematics, education ICT, education physics, biology you have there, mathematics, and then you have even more pages, 1, you have 2. There's a lot There's a lot of courses here. All right. And if you go back to the courses, digital skill courses, this is something that even myself, I would love to, take a look at them. You have, I know this Python, machine learning, JavaScript, video editing in Yoruba, Premiere. Oh, that's Yoruba right there. Programming with Scratch, ethical hacking. You see that video editing, all this stuff, they have pretty interesting stuff. Even, lectures and all the stuff. You have like 7 lectures, 14 lectures. So go and check it out. And let me show you maybe how it looks like. Let's say if I want to go to let me say machine learning. Okay, let me say machine learning. If I want to go to machine learning, I click there. Okay, right there, and then you have information there, you have content, you have reviews as well. Subscribe. If you want to subscribe, you subscribe there. If you want to share, you share as well. If you want to subscribe, basically you're gonna write your email there and everything, or you sign up with Google right there. You see, and I love the fact that, man, all these pictures here are people, Africans. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Look at this African beauty right here. Shout out to African beautiness out there, man. I love Africa, man. Love Africa so much. All right. And there's even live chat here. It's a wonderful website. All right. This is the work of our brother, our African brother. So go and check it out and go. You definitely find something you're interested on and, try to learn and, connect as well. Yes, our women are ready and willing to learn, but no opportunity available for them. Yeah. This is what Osita was sharing here, that actually, even you, like, Africa is hungry for knowledge. It's hungry for knowledge. People are ready, are willing. They want to see some changes. They want to see some differences. And I think we have a great opportunity for that. So if you're an African outside of the continent, see these opportunities. See these opportunities. If you want to start anything, I'll say this again. If you want to start anything, see these opportunities. Come visit Africa. Come to Tanzania. Go to Nigeria. Go to Kenya. Go to Ethiopia. If you have something and you want to establish, come and let's connect. We have a team. We have people here as well. Let's connect and we can do anything. Right now, we have here Swahili Nation and our people who are investing in, our vanilla production. We have 2 rounds already, and the farms are going on right now. Shout out to everybody who invested on that. These are things that we do for the sake of our people, for the sake of this continent. So anyways, I don't want to talk much, so I'm just gonna stop here. I don't want to ruin anything. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time. All right, I'll just give a little prayer, a little quick, and then I'll be done. God, I thank you for today. Thank you for this wonderful session that I had with my brother Osita. It has been very productive. For me personally, I've learned a lot from him and for the passion that he has for this continent. And I just pray, God, that everyone who is going to watch this, will get that sense of actually doing something, for this wonderful continent. Raise up and to be part of the solution, because that's what we need. This continent is yours, and we are your people. We have this breath of life that you gave it to us. So help us to use it right. I pray all these things in your precious name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen, guys. I love you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you tomorrow. Once again, thank you, Nana Dream, for the gift and for the super chat. Appreciate it. Okay, Marie, I was just about to leave, man. Good to see you back, Mika. Blessings. I appreciate Marie. Thank you, Marie, as well, for the super chat. If I just close there, I was going to miss this. So I'm glad I delayed a little bit. Marie, thank you so much. I really appreciate. You said that you missed something very interesting. Well, you can go back and watch this session. It was very short, but it was really nice. Right now, I'm just trying to keep my live stream just 1 hour. 1 hour that you end session and everybody wants you to continue, and then I end. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think I'll be doing this time. All right, because there's a lot of things going on as well. Yeah, appreciate Marit, appreciate Nana Dreams, appreciate everybody who joined here today for this session. I love you guys, and I've missed you, and we're back. All right, we're back. All right. See you guys later tomorrow. Love you. Bye.